Okie smoky. Okay. We are live. I believe that we are live right now. Welcome, everybody, to another rendition of Delete Laws. What's going on out there in the land of the unfree America? I'm back on StreamYard today, so forgive me if I'm a little bit off. I'm not exactly sure. I have not used StreamYard in over a year, so this is the first time I've used StreamYard in a year. So I appreciate you guys coming. Welcome. Today, we're going to be interviewing the parents of Anthony Allegrini Jr. If you guys are unfamiliar with who Anthony Allegrini is, he was 18 years old. He was in Philadelphia, and he was murdered by Robert Sobek Jr. The young man was 18 years old. He backed the blue. He backed the blue all the way. He was a great young man. He was a bright, bright light. I actually flew to Philadelphia a couple of years ago and interviewed the parents, who you're going to meet today, and shortly they're going to be backstage here in a moment. I got to warn you, I might cry. Good chance. You might cry when you see how beautiful this young man was and what they did to him, and the murder of Anthony Allegrini Jr. This is some of the, I mean, to be honest with you, I have cried 4 or 5 times this week. Earlier on the phone, I was talking to Anthony's aunt. I cried then, and I might cry again. This is one of the saddest stories that you will ever hear. I'll be honest with you. In the past, since I've been on air the past 5 years, I better get a Kleenex. Since I've been on air the past 5 years, this honestly has been the hardest story personally that I've ever covered, because I saw so much of myself in Anthony. I saw so much of myself being a bright light when I was young. And to see Robert Sobek Jr., the cop in Philadelphia who murdered him, so far get away with it. And remember, the prosecuting attorney in Philadelphia is the same gentleman who just came out and said he'll prosecute ICE officers if they violate people's rights. So hit the like button if you would, please. I want to get into, before I bring Anthony's parents on, I want to show you guys a little bit about who Anthony was. And just remember, he's gone. So this is going to be some of the toughest. This is going to be some of the toughest stuff that I've ever shared with you guys. I want to show you who Anthony was. There's a little quick short 3-minute video. I have to mute it. I have to mute it because unfortunately the music, you know how they do the music here. But this is I'm actually going to. This is tough, man. This is really tough to get through. Let me see what I got up on the screen right now for you guys. Here it is. This is the original video that I made for Anthony's parents and for Anthony Allegrini. This was the press conference.
Okay. So when we have an investigation like this, you know, about
she said, how do you deal with investigating your officers?
An officer involved shooting, we bring in investigator from a different station just to
You bring in cops from another station to investigate the cops. Gotcha.
remove any familiarity between them and the investigators.
They don't know about each other at all. They're not familiar with each other at all. They're not under a thin blue line. Okay.
They step in, they investigate.
They step in.
Present it to the district attorney's office.
Present it to our partners, the district attorneys.
Our internal affairs almost mirrors that. You know,
your internal affairs is inept and defund and infund.
Sees what's going on, collects information, prepares himself for an administrative action after everything is completed. But that's not until we get a clearance or a prosecutorial decision from the district attorney's office.
And then will you name also the state troopers?
At the end of this, if they are alleged of any wrongdoing, their names would obviously be released.
But not until then.
Not murder. If they're found to do no wrongdoing, not murder.
Not until then. Nothing at this point. No. For the safety of the troopers.
Once again, for the safety of the troopers.
We've already had issues with the news release where we identified the trooper investigating, and people have been seeking out his information, trying to put it there on the public and make it.
Yeah, because we're tired of you murdering people and then double talking and double speaking and lying about everything you're doing. And it's you reveal yourself. Your mantra is officer safety. You've said it 3 dozen times.
known to other people on social media. So it's obviously a concern for the officers involved.
What's the status of the troopers, or are they on leave? You know, what's the
Administrative leave. We get 72 hours administrative leave. At that point, you get to come back. We'll do the interview. Pending a clearance, we will be on limited duty or administrative duties, pending, a decision from the district attorney.
Captain, you said failed to yield.
Pending a decision from the district attorney, who you heard earlier say that these are our partners. He said partners 10 times.
To yield as they were, as Allegrini was driving towards the officers?
Active investigation.
And how many times as they were, as Allegrini was driving? Captain, you said failed to yield as they were, as Allegrini was driving towards the officers?
You said failed to yield as Allegrini was driving towards the officers. The state-run media is trying to find a way to run a story to paint Anthony as though he was trying to run down cops. Just make that what he's asking. Hey,
The parallels between Renee Good and Anthony Allegrini Jr. are absolutely undeniable.
the state media is saying, I'm trying to give you a way so you can make it look like he was trying to run the cops down. So, what do you got?
Active investigation.
And how many
Thank you. Appreciate that. Appreciate the question, bro. I'm not going to take that one, though. Give me another one.
times did the one officer was driving towards the officers?
Active investigation.
And how many times did the one officer shoot?
And how many times did the one officer shoot?
At this point, we're only aware of one shot. We feel pretty confident that it was one discharge.
We feel pretty confident it was just one discharge.
To where on his body? Was it?
That'll come out throughout the.
Where did he get shot on his body? From 1 foot away, where did one human being shoot another human being because they wouldn't stop their car?
And let me jump in here just for 1 second and let me explain something to you guys. They shot Anthony, and there's his parents backstage. Just looking at them just messes me up. But they shot Anthony from me to you. He shot Anthony this close. He shot an 18-year-old young man from this close away. And it just makes me fucking sick. Let me say hello to the parents. Anthony and Jennifer Allegrini, how you guys doing?
Hey, Jelly, how you doing?
Okay.
We're exactly the same.
Yeah.
You still devastated over the loss of your boy? And is it any better at all, or is it just like a fresh wound still?
It's worse.
It gets worse. It really gets worse. And then having to relive again and again to try and get him justice it's awful.
And you guys have filed a federal civil rights lawsuit against Robert Sobek Jr. and his partner?
Yes.
Okay, so you do have an ongoing federal civil rights lawsuit going on. Let's watch a little bit more of this video so we can watch this cop double talk.
Where did that happen? Where did he get shot at for not stopping his car, is what the guy asked.
Investigation.
And again, it's your stance that he was in the driver's seat at the time of the shooting.
Based on physical evidence we have at the scene, witness statements, and even some video evidence obtained, yes, we were very confident.
You cannot say
We're very confident he was in the driver's seat. You shot him as he was driving away slowly.
why his body ended up to be in front of that. body.
I cannot.
Well, he got shot in the chest, most likely because he was all curled up in a ball. Actually, I got the murder video. I'm going to show it at the end. I'm going to show the murder video. Welcome to another demonetized stream right here on Delete Laws.
Was that Audi on your
Yeah.
radar before you showed up to that?
Was the Audi on the radar
Which they did demonetize the stream and age restrict it.
before? No, because he wasn't a part of that. His lawyer said that.
That's good.
At the time of the shooting, if you were to expand our view, right, what was still going on, what wasn't going on, were people fleeing? Troopers who were responding, did they come upon this show that was going on, or this drag racing event
A very similar scene that was described.
Was that a cut?
going on, or this drag racing event
A very similar.
Was that a cut?
It was a cut. I saw
show
it.
that was going on, or this drag racing event?
A very similar scene that was described by Commissioner Outlaw. I mean, it was a chaotic scene. There was northbound and southbound shut
It was a chaotic scene.
down. Thousands of people standing on the roadway.
Thousands of people. Danger, danger, danger. They're going to save the day. They're going to kill people.
Vehicles doing donuts. Fireworks being set off. It was chaotic.
So the shooter, the state trooper who fires was not one who was hit, correct?
As one of the injured
Yes.
officers,
The officer, the state trooper who fires the shot that strikes the.
Hold on a second. Jen and Anthony, were there any state troopers injured in this process?
No.
0.
So then he's lying.
Yes.
Correct.
Everything he's saying is a lie. It's unbelievable, the corruption and lies.
Of course it is. And of course the parents are still devastated. My father died 10 years ago. After a few years, it got a little better. And I was just wondering if they had hit that point yet. And it doesn't sound like they have.
He's not one of the men who were hit.
He is one of the members that was injured.
He is one of them.
Yes, sir.
He was injured after the fact. After he
They're
murdered
lying.
somebody, then all of a sudden he magically got injured.
They're lying.
Were the passengers of the Audi taken into custody as well?
They were detained. They were identified and obviously part of the investigation at this point. No decision on charges or anything of that nature.
How many troopers?
Wait, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Passengers of the Audi taken into custody as well?
The passengers of the Audi, were they taken?
They were identified and obviously part of the investigation at this point. No decision on charges or anything of that nature.
How many troopers did you have out there at the time?
Of the shooting, 2, actually. The other ones were responding along with Philadelphia police officers. These were just the first 2 that arrived on scene.
I'm sorry. And you also said that, so the command was failed to yield. He
Failed
failed to yield. Failed to yield means he failed to stop.
Correct.
So he's moving at the time. If you're telling him to stop,
So
and he doesn't stop, and you fire, he's moving at the time you fire on him.
he failed to yield, sir. That's the statement that we're giving.
Anthony and Jen, is there a similar story right now going on in the media that you've heard about?
Yes, but Anthony was not moving when he was shot. He was not moving.
He was parked on the shoulder, getting ready to merge into the left lane from the left shoulder. And the trooper leaned on the car and fired the round through the windshield to an unmoving car.
When I
So-
tell people that he was shot from this far away, am I exaggerating on that?
No, it's
No.
the distance from the front of the car to the windshield or to the driver's
He
seat.
was up on the.
Then he was leaning forward. So yeah, he's leaning over the car and his arms extended. So yeah, it's probably
We're
maybe
talking
3
about
feet.
3 or 4 feet, and you're looking at an
3 or 4
18-year-old
feet.
and you
Yeah.
shoot like that. That is just despicable.
And he hit them with his car.
They received injuries at some point during the incident.
Oh, Anthony, did they receive injuries?
No,
Oh,
Forgive,
come
that's me
on.
laughing in the
Come
background.
come on. Listen.
And he doesn't stop, and you fire, he's moving at the time you fire on him.
He failed to yield, sir. That's the statement that we're giving.
He's clarifying that this guy was trying to run cops over. That's what he's going to run on his story tomorrow.
Didn't Anthony Allegrini Jr., didn't he back the blue? He wasn't trying to murder police officers, was he?
No, he did not want to hurt anyone, but yes, he backed the blue.
and
Yeah.
I have friends that are police officers, so we did back the blue. But
Yeah.
unfortunately, your slogan, back the blue until it happens to you. So now we know the real story of what's going on in America.
Officer tries to run over police and gets shot. He's making sure he can run his headline. I asked that question. And then the cop affirmed it, that yes, he was moving. He was trying to hit the cops then.
And he hit them with his car.
And then the other state-run media operative comes flying right in after to clarify again. Piggy number 1.
They received injuries at some point during the incident.
Yes, you can trust me. You can trust that we took the report. We saw those piggies were injured. Their paws were broken.
Taking part in
Their hooves were busted.
the drag racing. and
Active
harassment.
investigation. We're not going to,
Oh, it's an active investigation.
He wasn't doing anything. He was there shooting film. He was having a good time with the other young people watching. You said there was thousands of people there. They were all enjoying themselves.
Yeah.
One officer's been put on leave or both the officers?
Both officers. Even when you witness a critical incident like this, you get put on administrative leave. Just
Paid vacation. Paid vacation. Absolutely.
We give them all paid time off if they kill people or they're a part of killing people. But if someone dies around you, you're all going to jail. The dangerous.
You know, those glimpses of video that
Trash.
people are seeing right now.
it's hard to put a whole story together off a glimpse of video. I mean, you will not know the whole story if you see something after it occurred, before it occurred. It's putting the piece together, and
It's putting the pieces together to sell you a narrative.
as
Right.
an agency, as we investigate this, that's what we're doing. We're collecting everything so that we have that clear picture of what occurred, so the truth can be discovered as the district.
What?
Yeah, but they already give out a story beforehand.
The
to make it
truth.
look like crap.
I'm sorry. Let me get you on the screen here. I'm sorry, Jen. I didn't hear what you were saying. Say it again.
I said, but yet they put a story out before they know anything to make Anthony look bad.
Right. And I'm going to show you guys who Anthony is. You're going to get to see this young man dancing, and you're going to get to see what an absolute wonderful human being Anthony Allegrini Jr. was before they snuffed out his life.
There it is.
Clear picture of what occurred so the truth can be discovered, as the district attorney said. And
See that? The district attorney and I agree. We're going to get the truth. We promise. Public.
Don't you have body camera?
we're in the process of getting body cameras.
They don't have body cameras.
I just know that, we are moving towards that. It is in place, but we just haven't gone there yet.
Is it that no state police in Pennsylvania have body cameras, or just certain troops have it, or?
At this point, no, but I know they will be rolling out soon.
So no one in the state of Pennsylvania, no trooper has a body camera?
Not at this moment, I don't believe. I know it is
What a Boy Scout, right? Cover up his uniform and
Coming
look
out
at
of-
him. What a dweeb.
future, and it's a slow
The
rollout.
funding
I
is
mean,
there.
the funding is there,
Sure.
100%. And I mean, this is across the state. It takes a while to outfit, an agency across the state, but
Jen and Anthony, do they have body cameras yet?
They do now, because our friends and family and supporters have wrote, I don't even know how many thousands of letters to Shapiro and the state police and everyone. April 2024, Troop K was outfitted, which is the troop that murdered Anthony. And then I believe everyone now is outfitted with body cam. But I have not been able to find their policy on the body cam.
Yeah.
So-
So that just
So
the
they
way
could just have it on it or have it and not have it on. I don't find a policy on it.
right, and the way it works, y'all, is that we pay for the camera. And thank you, Anthony and Jen, for getting that done. If you're in Philadelphia, you guys can thank the parents of this young man who's gone now. It only cost an 18-year-old boy his life, but these folks pushed and fought, and they got those body cameras finally put across the entire police department. But remember this. They've created codes, statutes that make it so that you and I, it's almost impossible to get that body camera. And we're going to see more of that in just 1 second. We're going to get into it.
we are moving to that, but we aren't there yet.
Are you joined
One
by
last question.
Are you joined by
One last question.
Philadelphia police out there at the time? Are there Philadelphia officers out?
And of course, it's to the one who wants to write his headline about how Anthony tried to run them over.
With your troopers at the time?
Not at the time of the shooting. Obviously they were responding. They're sometimes our biggest help out there, and they were coming out in full force to help support us and control that incident. But at the time the shooting occurred, they were not listening.
And these were troopers. These were not commanding officers in any way. These were both state troopers.
2 state troopers working a midnight shift.
So they were the only law enforcement that was there this
At the
moment.
scene. I mean, there may have been some on the other side of 95. I mean, this was, underneath the bridges there.
Yeah.
There's a wall in between.
Yeah.
There were some on the other side, but at that physical scene, they were the only two.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
If you guys want
Okay,
to,
so there's the explaining away right there. But let's go to our video. Anyone headline in what I'm seeing? The story is just dead. 1.7 thousand views.
18-year-old shot and killed by PA State Police speaking out tonight through their lawyer. They want answers as to what happened. Good evening, I'm Sheba Russell.
I'm Jason Martinez.
Now they're going to put their spin on it, of course, state-run media.
So here's what we know so far here tonight at 10 o'clock. Police say that 18-year-old Anthony Allegrini was part of a large group of people on I-95 Saturday night. They were racing cars.
Jen and Anthony, was Anthony racing cars?
No,
No.
parked on the shoulder.
Here we go. Here we go. The destruction of a young man.
Doing burnouts.
Racing cars, doing burnouts.
He was
Anthony was
not.
doing that.
He was not.
Drifting, you name it. State police claim that Allegrini hit 2 troopers responding to the crowd with his car.
No,
Wow. Listen to the framing. Oh my God.
it's a lie.
Oh my.
Anthony and Jen, are they up there? Is this state-run media misrepresenting your young man?
Yes, and they've been every day since the very beginning. It's unbelievable the story they tell, and you know whose side they're on right away. It's disgusting. It's all disgusting.
That's why we call it state-run media, because they're given a narrative by the people who control them. And they are just totally dismembering this man's character from what he actually was, the human being he was, and the parents. This kid was only 18 years old. So they have his whole life documented on video. Beautiful kid who got absolutely killed by these police, and the state-run media is going to lie to you.
God, I remember you guys just saw me look this up with you. I knew it would be bad. I didn't know it would be that bad. Lawyer's going to meet my.
They're lying. You don't need to hear.
Leave for 72 hours. But state police protocol, the troopers who had minor injuries were put on leave for 72 hours before they will be.
There's the injury lie again.
Be interviewed. Now, Shayna, the victim's family, says that is not the whole story here.
That's exactly right.
But you heard how he just framed it. He said, but that's not the whole story. You already framed it, bro. You painted him ugly immediately.
Yeah.
Family of Anthony Allegrini Jr. inviting us into their.
Just so you guys know, that used to be a racial slur. They used to say, "Don't paint me black." I learned it when I was a very young person. That was really funny when I was a kid.
It was horrible.
It's despicable to me now. But now I say, "Don't paint me ugly," because that's the truth. Don't paint me ugly.
Delaware County home. They chose not to speak, but they had their attorney make their first statement. The overwhelming message tonight: this shouldn't have happened to their son.
There was a message that came out by the state police, came out by the district attorney's office and the chief of police from Philadelphia. And this message that's currently coming out right now is not telling the full story of who Anthony Allegrini is.
For the first time, we're hearing from an attorney for the family of Anthony Allegrini Jr. The 18-year-old was fatally shot early Sunday morning on I-95 near Penn's Landing during.
Let me just. I'm gonna
The 18-year-old.
Take a look at that kid. Could you imagine point blank? Could you imagine? I mean,
was fatally shot early Sunday morning on I-95 near Penn's Landing during the drag racing chaos that broke out.
During the drag racing chaos. Listen to that framing, Anthony and Jen. There was no racing going on. They were literally dispersing the crowd. Thousands of people had descended to watch the street racing. Your son was not part of that street racing. He was just there watching. But they're making it sound as like there's cars racing up and down. Is that what was happening?
No.
On the southbound side, there was no drag racing, donuts, anything.
It was only in the northbound lanes, and it was just two cars, from what some of the witnesses have told us. Just two of the same cars doing the same thing over and over again. But there wasn't racing. It wasn't that chaotic. There weren't cars all over the place.
And there were no police on the northbound side where laws were being broken.
I see. Okay.
The Allegrini family clearly distraught, holding their son's senior photo in their hands.
He's someone who never been in trouble before. He is somebody that graduated high school last year, was currently working 3 jobs. He had worked hard to save up enough money to purchase that car, which was his pride and joy.
And it was that car, a black Audi S4, state police say, was seen by troopers Sunday morning, parked on the shoulder of I-95 with its license plate, quote, completely obscured. State police say Allegrini was in the driver's seat of the car when police attempted to approach him on foot and were then hit by the car. One trooper firing a single shot, killing Allegrini. The family questions the police account because of this video that allegedly shows Allegrini still alive on the ground after the shooting next to a state police.
Look, he's got his gun out still. Now watch.
He
points his gun at the person. Did you see that?
So
alive on the ground
right
after the shooting.
So just so you know, I got the raw.
I want to bring in the parents here on this, and I want to talk a little bit about Anthony after he gets shot. And they shot him in the neck right here, or right in the heart. Where was that shot at?
In the aorta, right in the sternum.
Right there, because your aorta is going to be right back behind there. And they shot him there. And then when he was on the ground, did Robert Sobek Jr. do any sort of first aid?
Yeah. Did you see how much he did? You see how much he did for our son? Wave his gun around and point it at other people, at other passerbyers? Did you see how much help he gave Anthony for 20 minutes?
Let's take a look.
Video.
Here.
I'm glad they
alive on the ground after the shooting.
So just so you know, I got the raw video. I'm glad they blurred this for YouTube so they can't say that I showed a death. Now I don't have to show the video that Wrights On sent me. But he's his arm render
shows Allegrini still alive on the ground after the shooting.
So he's on the ground trying to get some air. And instead of giving any air, Sobek points his gun at the person filming.
Next, he's on the ground, still alive. His body's in a totally flexed position. His arms and his legs are completely outstretched. and he's
He's like this. Yeah,
he's like this.
His body's all
He's
locked.
it looks like he's trying to get air. That's his body position. The cop, instead of rendering aid, as the kid is like, you can see his body's convulsing. You can see every muscle in his body is flexed. You can't see it here, obviously. Instead of rendering any aid, he points his gun at him.
He points the gun at the kid
you
on
can
the
see
ground.
it yourself. Now, I wonder if YouTube will demonetize the video, because I was going to show the death. So now, kid who's writhing in pain.
Police.
He's got a gun pointed at the kid, man, as he's on the ground.
So if you're new to delete law, way down. Big. Just anybody driving by. Let's watch it again in slow motion. Let's ready. Let me kill the sound so we don't get killed by the audio.
So
there he is. He was pointing the gun at the kid. Now out to you. As he was pointing the gun at the kid. Now out to you.
Wow. What did you guys feel when you saw that? When you saw that they had shot Anthony in the aorta, which, if you don't know, the aorta is how you shoot blood all through your body. What did you guys think of that? What was your reaction?
I don't even know if we really can say.
Yeah, we can't say what we really want to feel. You'd be thrown off.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anyone hurts your child, you know.
Yeah.
Unjustly hurts your child and murders him and does nothing to help him.
Yeah. This is go ahead.
Now,
Sorry,
2.5 years later, still not facing justice.
Still nothing. Still an open investigation. They still have his phone, his car. No police report yet, but it's an active investigation.
You don't have
is that going to go on?
You don't have a police report about this?
Nope.
No.
Oh. Buying their car. What?
Big.
That
you don't need to hear from me. Let me do this. What I want to do right now is I'm going to show you another angle of this so you guys can see it yourself. And this is going to be right here. Forgive me one second here. Anthony Allegrini Jr. Remember. That's the name of this. Okay. So here's the actual video. Here's the actual video of Anthony driving away from the scene. Oh, man. Oh. There's a super chat.
He's not driving, though. His vehicle is not moving. It looks like it's moving because people that are videoing are moving. But if you look at his wheels, you see that he is not moving.
Okay, let's watch it. Let's watch it back. Someone sent you guys a super chat, so I'm going to cash app you guys after this. This is unbelievable. He's just chipping in. This guy chips into everybody, just so you know. Okay, there's the copper right there. You could see him, right?
He was already shot at that point. They shot him first.
Oh, I see. Oh, I see. Okay, because we broke this down, you and I did. So remember, folks, the car is passing by, so it looks as though Anthony's car is moving, but it's actually not. He's sitting there, he gets shot, and then he slowly starts to roll forward. Let's watch it. Thank you, Lou, for jumping in on that, man. God bless you, sir. 1 second. And I changed the color on this. I did everything I could to make it so you could see it. I'm sorry for the sound. It's a little annoying, but and there was someone right there. There's the shot right there. You heard it. You heard it. And then after Anthony is shot, does his car, the car starts, is it in gear? And so then it starts. Okay.
It's drifting.
It's in gear. Yeah. So his foot's on the brake while it's in drive. Then he gets shot. And then obviously he twitches and then his foot comes off the brake and then he rolls forward. But his intention was to merge onto the highway. So his wheel was already turned all the way to the right. That's why the car ended up perpendicular to the highway, because the wheels was already turned before he got shot. And then somehow on his own strength, while a bullet is lodged in his sternum, he was able to stop the car. And then get out of the car, because that's what he was ordered to do. So he was banging orders and got out of the car with his hands up, because that's what the trooper asked him to do, and that's what he did.
And the character of your boy that you put your heart and soul into raising, he didn't have a malicious, evil, hurt other people character.
No, the most laid back, easygoing, friendly kid ever. Never a confrontation. Just funny, a goofy, fun kid. Complete
Make people laugh. Sorry.
complete opposite of what they've been trying to portray him. They're painting him as a monster this entire time, because that's the narrative of everyone involved. Media, everyone. They tell that horrible story, and it couldn't be further from the truth.
Right. Now, he's got 2 friends in the car during this time as well. Thank you, Black North, for that super chat. God bless you.
Three.
He had 3 kids in the car with him. I'm sorry, 3 young men, 18-year-olds or men. So he had 3 young men in the car with him, huh?
Yes.
So you guys can see it. You can see it, that he gets shot. Let me go back again. I want to show it again here. Now, his car is parked there. A car is passing by, so it looks like the car's in motion a little bit. Car doesn't hit motion until after the gunshot. Listen. Boom. Gunshot. And I'll tell you, even if that car was even slightly moving at all whatsoever, Anthony's character, that's not the kind of kid he was. He was not that kid that would try to hurt another person. From interviewing with the parents, I talked to his friends. He was the guy that would break up fights. He was the guy that would quash arguments. He was the guy that would settle people down. It just is. Go ahead, Jen. I'm sorry.
I just said yes. And the trooper said that there was too much traffic for an ambulance to get through. But the car that took that video was able to circle around and come back through before an ambulance.
Yeah, go down the highway, get off the exit, get back on, and drive through again to shoot that video, to film that video. So clearly there was plenty of space for a pedestrian, a vehicle to get through, let alone an ambulance with sirens and lights. But that didn't happen.
I can't play the sound because there's music here, but I just want to show you the energy of this kid and just take a look at who this young man was. This was their boy.
He should be here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Isn't that great?
Yeah, he was a great kid, man. I felt like after talking to all of his friends and meeting you guys, I felt like I knew him, and I felt like he was a young man who I would have mentored and helped, and maybe he could have mentored me. He had such a great personality. His girlfriend, he could braid his girlfriend's hair. He was just the center of the room. And I tell you, the night before, just so you guys know, you have the parents here, but let me just tell you, the night before I edited this video, I used to do all my own edits. I spent 10 hours editing the video, and I cried and cried and cried because this kid was he was wonderful. He really was. I mean, look at the energy. Look at the exuberance that just comes out of this kid. You're going to see a video in a moment where he dances around a car, and he's such an energizing bunny that it just affects you. Like, he was the kid that you wanted to go with you to every event, to every party. He was the kid that would brighten the room for so many others. He was the kid that if you were down in the corner, Anthony would come over and say, "Hey man, party going on around it." But Anthony would come over to you and say, hey, are you okay, man? Are you all right? And even though he knows he's the life of the party, he'll still stop his life being the life of the party to come over and take care of you. This right here, this kid right here, he was just a beautiful young man. Look at the energy. He doesn't stop, man.
That was after lacrosse practice too.
Look at the moves. Look at the moves. He ain't done. He ain't done. He ain't done. Still going, man. Still going.
You're such a goofball.
Yeah, just look at him. Ducks down. He ain't done. He ain't done. Wow. And then the
That
way
was
he.
during COVID. I had to homeschool him during COVID.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
So that was during COVID when
That
he was.
last one,
The
yeah.
last one, dancing through the house. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So what happens now? Where are we? And let's go first criminally. There was no police report. Ever any indictment?
No, we are still hopeful that Krasner will charge him. We're still hopeful.
No, I mean, put a 1 in the chat if you guys want this guy to be charged who murdered.
Absolutely.
That's all we want. We want him in jail. We want
Yeah.
him put away.
Yeah.
We don't want him out. He's still policing the streets.
Yeah, you're still walking around with a badge and a gun. Everybody should feel real safe.
He's in a local casino, but he needs to be in jail. He shouldn't be on the streets. I mean, he's not there to protect.
No.
So why is he
No.
on the streets?
Protect and serve, yeah.
And so now I know that you told me you filed a federal civil rights lawsuit. What can people look up online to follow the case?
You can, I mean, look up on Pacer Monitor. There's information on there.
What's the name of that case?
It's Anthony Allegrini Jr. versus Robert Sobek Jr. et al. So, and it names the other.
And how many entities? How many entities are you suing?
We're suing the state police, and then I guess Sobek and I think 3 other troopers listed.
Oh, I see. Yeah, you have to sue absolutely everybody involved.
Yeah, and then you can name them because in the beginning we didn't have names. We're just almost finishing up depositions now. The Attorney General's attorneys have actually stepped back out of the case.
They've withdrawn completely from the case.
And now it's the Pennsylvania State Troopers attorneys that are representing them. We're not really sure why. I couldn't find anything.
So the
where that's
Pennsylvania
ever
State
happened before.
The Pennsylvania State Troopers are being represented by who?
By their attorneys. By the
Pennsylvania State Police attorneys.
Yes.
And lately, you guys saw the murder of Renee Good, and so this video here, where we see that Renee was shot as she was driving away. How did this affect you and your family?
I mean, it's awful. I mean, it definitely triggered a lot of our friends and family. We got so many text messages and calls and, just support saying, hey, I'm sure you're seeing this. We're sorry. Thinking of Anthony. And, it's awful that she didn't deserve to die like that. I don't get into the political stuff.
Right.
But, I mean, he stepped in front of the car.
Yeah.
He shot her. I mean, she shouldn't have died like that, period. I mean, it's awful. And then the reason why they, the Department of Justice tells you not to shoot at a moving vehicle is because once they're shot, what happens to the vehicle afterwards? You see it go. I mean, what if there were people instead of a car there?
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, this whole idea that it's okay to shoot people in a car, and the DOJ we've seen the codes that the DOJ says you're not supposed to shoot a moving car, and for exactly what you said, Jen, because the car keeps going, and that car could hurt or kill another person.
Yes.
But this whole idea that the police should be able to jump in front of a car and shoot us in our cars. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that's ridiculous. I don't get why would they do that other than an excuse to shoot.
I'm looking up your case right now. One of the moderators, instead of me doing it, can I get a moderator to find that case? It's Allegrini versus Sobek. You're probably going to find it the best way. And let's get that link in the chat so that we can follow this case. And Jen and Anthony, what can we do to support you in any way? Some people threw in a little bit of money, but it's not the money. What can we do to help you in any way?
Just, I mean, pressure to charge him. We want him charged. Like, we want him charged and behind bars.
Yeah.
Literally all we want.
Yeah. Tell the real story of who Anthony was. And then
Yes.
have a friend tell another friend and have a family member tell another family member. Just to get the real story out, because it's just a few of us, you know, telling his story versus the millions of people they got to hear it from the state-run media. So we're fighting a huge uphill battle.
And the Instagram account is This Is Anthony Allegrini. Is that correct?
Junior, yes.
This is Anthony Allegrini Jr. because this is Anthony Sr., correct?
Yes.
Right. Right. I
And
wish
we
there
just
was
post videos of him being, you know, his authentic self, just being a goofball and, you know, joking around, dancing, which is what he was always doing.
Always goofy, always dancing around, always making people laugh. It's all he did. That was just his behavior all the time.
That's the human being that he was. I've got a couple more videos here that I'd like to just show a little bit of this video right here. Oh, okay. I'll show you what I did. I'll show you what I did. But it just I was so angry. I remember coming there to Philadelphia and meeting you guys, and I remember being so mad that they had done this to him that I went over to the cop shop and I said, you guys are not going to get away with this, get away with murdering this kid and have nobody call you out, nobody say to you that you're scumbags. And so I went over there. I did absolutely all that I could as far as, and I'll tell you, you know, I very well could have went to jail for this right here.
We appreciate you doing that too.
I just wanted these cops to know that I'm not going to put up with them.
I'm going to stand right here on a public space.
That's fine.
So
Right over here.
don't stand behind me.
Early.
Don't stand behind me.
Come over here, sir.
I'm not going where you tell me to stand.
I'm going to tell you this.
I'm going to stand wherever I want. And if you arrest
gonna
me,
tell
I
you
will
this.
sue your ass, bro.
All right.
I'm
You
not
are
the guy.
impeding traffic and
I'm
flow
not
from going
impeding.
in and
I'm
out
not
of flow.
impeding. I'm standing on the side.
Why don't
Don't
you
lie,
record
pig.
this? Why
Don't
don't you
lie,
record
pig.
this?
There's a median right here. I'm standing between the median, pig.
This
Don't
is
tell me,
active
pig.
traffic way over
No,
here.
it's not.
Coming in
This
and
is a
out.
parking lot.
Okay.
Listen,
And
I'm a
that's fine.
constitutional law scholar. You're a dunce
And
cap
that's fine.
pig.
And
You
that's
are a
fine.
dumb pig.
What questions would
Don't.
you like?
I want you to know what's happening with Robert Sobek Jr.
If you have any questions.
Have you charged him with murder?
Says without any warning or justification, probable cause, Sobek got out of his vehicle and with his weapon drawn, he immediately walked up to Anthony Allegrini Jr.'s front windshield and fired one shot, said Joseph Oxman, who filed a federal civil rights complaint Friday in the District Court of the Eastern District of Pennsylvania, claiming excessive force. The suit also claims unknown state troopers, Philadelphia police hindered medical attention, allowing Anthony to bleed to death on the highway for more than an hour after the shooting.
Would you like
Answer the question.
Would you like me to speak?
Any day you came out here lying.
really
This
riled
pig
up.
came out here lying. Oh, am I allowed not to be loud? Is it against the law for me to be loud? I can scream in your face if I want.
That's fine.
I can do anything I want.
Okay.
I'm a journalist with thousands of videos. Oh, it's not? Under what? What, under Title 34? What are you talking about? I've read the laws before I came here.
Okay.
Tell me what law I'm
If you have any
violating.
questions?
I'm asking you now. You won't
have any
answer it.
questions?
Where's Robert Sobek Jr.?
If you have any
Where is I'm asking, answer it.
They hit him.
This gentleman here, he's trying to intimidate me by getting out of his car, but I'm not intimidated. Just go do your job, pig. Just go do your job. See, I'm in the middle here where there's no traffic here.
Sir, I understand.
Okay. Well, don't get out of your car and try to intimidate me because I'm not afraid of you. No, eat my shorts, copper. I have no respect for you.
I'm gonna
Zero.
go get that card.
I'll wait for
and
the
give it
card.
to you, all right, sir?
The number I can call that's going to tell me where Robert Sobek Jr. is.
Hopefully they can assist.
Okay. You're not going to give me any more unlawful orders, are you? Because I won't follow them. You don't get to give me an unlawful order. You might want to look up constitutional law, bud. I have a right to be anywhere I want.
That's exactly correct. I mean, that's exactly correct. So
Thank you for trying to fight for us.
yeah, and listen, they're not all pigs. There's some very good police officers out there. You just have to find them.
We have a close family member that is a very good one.
Yeah, there's some police officers out there who did sign up to protect and serve. The problem is that they get indoctrinated to a system where they put torture cuffs on people, and torture cuffs are always torture. I do know some police officers who've never put handcuffs on people before, and that's Detective Matt Thornton. Has never put a cuff on anybody ever in his life, and he's been a cop for 26 years.
Wow.
So yeah, he's a school resource officer. He's never put cuffs on a kid, not once ever. So it's well, we're going to follow your journey. And did you set up a GoFundMe or anything like that? I know that you
No.
guys, you guys are doing it yourselves.
We did start a foundation in Anthony's name to donate to other kids in our, community, any community really, that wants to play sports and doesn't have the funds to do it. We did start up that foundation. So if anyone
What's it
would
called?
want to donate to that, but nothing, to go to us or anything like that.
It's not for us. It's just for us
It's
to help
for
other
other-
people and
yeah.
to keep Anthony's namesake going, because
Yeah.
he can't keep his namesake going now. So this is just one way for us to continue his name and his legacy.
We just want to do good in his name.
And let's talk about that car. I mean, Anthony worked 3 jobs. You
Yep.
helped him. He worked so hard to get that car. And where's the car today?
Yep. He washed the car every other day. Didn't matter what temperature. He was out there every other day. I'm not exaggerating to make it sound like he's a neat freak or a car guy, but it was every other day. Wash, wax, polish, clay bar. I mean, you name it. It was so clean, so meticulous. It was like a mirror finish. It was his dream. It was his, dream car. And it was basically his whole life. Where's the car now? It's a great question. It's not here. And we're still picking up the payments for it since he can't make the payments anymore. So now we're paying $550 a month plus insurance, so we don't lose the car, so it doesn't get help me out. Repoed. Yeah, we don't want it repoed. Obviously, we want the car back.
We want the car back. He loved that car. We want that car back. It is in police custody still.
At the Belmont.
Yeah, Pennsylvania State Police troopers still have
Belmont
custody.
Backers, we believe.
I know you guys have some top-notch lawyers on this, and I don't know. I don't know Pennsylvania law. I don't know if you could file a writ of mandamus to force a hearing, but maybe it's something you want to ask your lawyers about. And it could be totally wrong because I don't know Pennsylvania law, but a writ of mandamus could force a hearing possibly. And Felicia's putting in there right there. Thank you so much, Felicia. There's the docket right there. There's the pacer right there. If you guys want to follow it. What'd you look up? Was it Allegrini Jr. versus Sobek, Felicia? Is that what you looked up? Thank you. I appreciate that. So, man, I hope you guys can get that car back.
Yeah. And if it's now they say because of it's part of a criminal investigation. If they need it for the criminal investigation, that's the only reason why we didn't make a big deal about it, because if it can help in any way to charge Sobek, that's what we want. But in the end, we want it back. We want it back in our garage. It was Anthony's.
With a new windshield and a new driver's seat, obviously.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And we'll make a shrine out of it, and we'll take it to car shows and whatever we could do. But
because if you don't know, Anthony Allegrini here, Senior, he's a car guy. Anthony Allegrini Jr., he's a car guy. If you're a car guy, you know you love cars. What kind of car was this that he loves so much?
It was a 2019 Audi S4. A car that he talked about for probably 5 years. I didn't realize it. I always spoke about. I'm a crazy car guy myself. So my dad was a car guy. I'm a car guy. It's kind of in our genes. So he went to all of the car shows with us as a little guy, and he sat in all the cars, and all the car community is a great group of people. So, the people would let little Ant, when he was a little guy, sit in the cars, and it didn't matter. Everybody's so wonderful. So he was just in the lifestyle of being a car guy, and he just became a car guy. Some people aren't. Some people are. He definitely was. So I always talked about maybe one day being able to have an Audi S4 because it's a great vehicle. It's fun. It's sporty. It's 4-seater. It's all-wheel drive. It's kind of like a good at everything vehicle. So I talked about it so much I didn't even realize I was like talking him into wanting one. And then when it was time to upgrade his vehicle, then he said he has to have an S4, and it could only be an S4. So that's kind of the gist of it.
See, this is your oldest child? Because I think you have one more. You have a daughter, I think.
It's our youngest.
It's our youngest.
Oh, he was your youngest. You have an older daughter.
Mhm.
Older than him.
Yeah.
Well, I put the foundation up here on the screen. If you guys want to donate to this foundation, it's called the Anthony Allegrini Jr. Foundation. And what this foundation does is it helps youth who can't afford, because Anthony was a hockey player.
Yes.
And it's expensive to play hockey. I know this because my brother played hockey, but I couldn't. It was, and so it costs money to play hockey. So they set up a foundation because playing hockey builds a lot of character. And I was raised in Alaska, and there it is. And then we got the name of the Dirty Coppers: Robert Sobek Jr. and Matthew Nicasher. And they're both still cops in Philly, or were they moved somewhere else?
They're both in Philadelphia. Sobek is at a casino, and Nicasher is still on the streets.
Wow. And no punishment, no nothing, just a paid vacation. And I imagine, do you know how long they were on paid vacation for?
70. Well, as far as we know, they got the 72 hours. I'm not sure if they took off anything further than that.
72 hours and then 10-8, they're back on shift?
Yeah.
Wow. I know, Tone. I mean, the whole crowd. I mean, and we're not even, we're only streaming a vertical on Instagram, but typically we get thousands and thousands of people when we come in here. We're streaming horizontal, so we only got a couple hundred people in here, but every single person's comments in here is that they're sick. Every single person. It's just sadistic, disgusting, small miracle garages. It's just so many people. I'm getting watery eyes right here. It's, who's cutting onions? Yeah, my eyes are completely watered. I'm not gonna let them see me cry again. That, you know what I mean? They don't get to see me cry. I'm never gonna cry again for the state. They don't get to see me cry. Them, you know what I mean?
So cry every day. It's
cry every day.
You know, even when you see happy things, it brings pain.
That brings you down. That makes you cry. And if you might actually laugh for something, that some event of laughter happens, then you realize right away, like, why am I laughing? How could I laugh? You know, Ant's gone. So
even though we know he would want us to.
He would want us to laugh.
You know.
But every day, you're interrupted every 10 to 20 seconds by reality of the horror of this whole thing. And it's just tears and anger that just don't stop. And it doesn't get better.
Yeah, and I imagine you can't even watch a hockey game. Can't even see a slap shot. You can't even.
Everything is painful. Everything is ruined. Everything. Anything is ruined. It could be the slightest little trigger or memory, and then it's done.
I lost my dad 11 years ago, and we weren't particularly close, but it was my dad, and I lost my dad. It didn't get better for me for, I don't know, just this last couple years. I'm okay, but it took 8-9 years before I could say my father without just breaking down in tears. And it's only been 2 years, right? 23.
Yeah.
Was he was murdered in 2023?
Yeah, June 4th.
And I lost my dad 1 year and 4 months before this.
Yeah, it has to stop now. This has to stop. What do you guys think for solutions here? I mean, I don't think that police should be carrying firearms like they do. I think we should have locations set up all around the cities and towns where they can handprint and open up the box to get a firearm, because police are only Johnny on the spot 2% of the time. And that 2% of the time, less than, and this is from a military veteran who's in intelligence, I can't even say his name, it's 0.002% of police will actually be in a gunfight where they lose their life. Total 0.002. What do you guys think for solutions here so they stop just shooting people?
I mean, definitely training. I mean, you have to start from the beginning with training.
Or maybe a better character evaluation to start with.
Yeah.
Start there.
Yeah, there's the $1 million question. Do cops become psychopaths, or do psychopaths become cops?
Psychopaths
become cops.
Wow.
I mean, you can clearly see in the video that that trooper's lost his mind. He's in complete rage, waving his gun at hundreds of people for no apparent reason. Like it's some kind of, like it's some horrible situation, like a school shooting or some mass shooting, but there was nothing. There was kids in some cars, That's it. And he pulls this gun out, and look, he's irate. He's a maniac out there. For what? For nothing.
And I guess you can argue either way. Really.
Yeah, yeah. Because I think that cops become psychopaths for a few different reasons. They're given absolute power. There's no sort of punishment or consequences for their actions. And the training, like you're saying, the training makes them become a psychopath because they're taught from the IDF, from the Israeli defense, that everybody wants to kill them. That if you shoot a guy, he's really got a grenade under his back and he's going to pull a grenade out as you're rendering aid. So they do this thing where they put torture cuffs on people as they're bleeding out. But if a cop gets shot, man, they're putting fingers in holes, patching him up. But if Anthony gets shot, they let him sit there and writhe in pain. Yeah. And we couldn't see the video, but he was literally, his whole body was locked up. They were trying to, I don't think it would have mattered. I think they shot him Sobek shot him.
I've seen, there was cases where
people lived
injury, they have lived. And there's, top hospitals less than 5 minutes away from where he was shot.
Wow. So of cases where people have lived,
yes.
And that not rendering aid for 30 minutes very well could have been a contributing factor to Anthony not being
there. Oh, that's a fact. There's world-class hospitals within 5 minutes of that location. I mean, we're in Philadelphia here, right? With all world-class hospitals. So they could have very easily thrown him back in the trooper car and got him to somewhere and saved his life. But clearly that wasn't their plan. They couldn't, their whole objective was for him to just die by himself, alone, choking on his own blood, not rendering any aid whatsoever. Clearly that was his objective and plan, and it worked.
If it had been one of their own, they would have had him in the back of a car going 100 miles. Yeah.
That is a fact.
Yes.
And we've seen it. I've shown videos where when a cop gets shot, man, they go into overdrive. I saw a cop get shot like 8 times in a drug raid gone bad where it was cops selling drugs to cops. This is the most ridiculous. And so then one of the cops says gun, and he unloads 8 shots into the guy. He lived. So that goes to Jen's point here, that if they had rendered aid for Anthony Allegrini Jr., he may still be with us.
And Robert Sobek Jr. was a combat medic.
Oh, no.
Yep.
So he knew how to render aid.
Yes, he did.
Perhaps now you guys filed complaints. Is there a chance you can get him fired on policy?
We're trying everything.
We hope we'll get fired on anything.
On any count, yeah.
But yeah, he was a combat medic in the Army or National Guard, and he knew exactly what to do and what not to do to make sure that Anthony was not helped. And there were nurses that were right there who tried to get to Anthony, and they were pushed away and told them that they were stopping the ambulance from coming.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. I haven't seen those videos. Have you been able to collect any more videos so we could create a little more comprehensive of what happened afterwards?
Yeah, we have all the videos. But yeah, she was saying, I'm a nurse. And he said, get back. You're stopping for the ambulance from coming.
The same thing they told the doctor on the scene in Minneapolis a week ago.
And then pulled a gun on him. Yeah.
It's just like, my God. I'm sorry. When I get uncomfortable, I tend to laugh a little bit, and it's just so uncomfortable.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is.
Every second is uncomfortable.
Wow.
Yep.
Anthony, I can literally feel, look at my goosebumps on my arm. I can literally feel how hurt and angry the two of you are. Has it gone past, have you gone into the mourning phase at all, or is it just anger and rage still?
I feel like it's a roller coaster, honestly. I could be in bed, I could be depressed, I could be crying, I could be, trying to enjoy my daughter and grandchild and then crash. It really is all over the place.
It's a lot of rage and sadness.
Yeah.
What's your outlet? How do you, when I get really mad, I hit the gym and I start pumping iron and I start to feel at least like I can get through it. But what's your outlet?
You don't really have one.
Work and sleep.
Work. work at work or work on the house. I don't know. Nothing too exciting. You don't want to do anything after this. Their life is sucked out of you as it was to Anthony Jr.
Just tired.
We're so exhausted. We get normal amount of sleep, but it doesn't matter. You can't fix the exhaustion and the pain and the sadness and the anger. It's just a constant, I don't know, hellish loop that never ends.
And I want to reiterate to the people watching, these people are still not anti-cop. They don't hate cops. Anthony didn't hate cops. They back the blue. They have family members who are police officers. In general, before this, did you ever have any problem with police?
No. I've only been pulled over one time in my life.
And how'd that go?
I got a ticket and that was it. I mean, it was probably 30 or 20 some years ago, at least. I grew up next to a police station. They were literally my neighbors.
Well, I just don't want anybody of on who's not going to understand. I don't want anybody who's watching to understand that these people are not cop haters. We're not cop haters. Still don't hate cops. The majority of my crowd either hates or dislikes cops or doesn't trust cops, and that's the 90 percentile of my crowd. When I say there's some good cops, I get emails saying, "Chili, why are you saying there's some good cops?" Okay.
Yeah, state troopers. Yeah.
We might have a hatred for state troopers now.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely Pennsylvania, unless you have spoken up and said, the truth where they can. If they have not, then no, we're not a fan. And we don't have local police where we live. So our police are Pennsylvania state troopers. We can't even, if we had an emergency, we can't even call the police.
We're not
Because
calling
that's who would come.
No way. I don't want to die.
Oh, so you no longer want to call police at all?
We can't.
No, we can't. The police that would respond are Pennsylvania state troopers.
Yes, we don't have a local
responding to our house.
We don't have local police.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
But yeah, our area is patrolled by the Pennsylvania State Police. We don't have a local police department.
No municipal, no borough, no any. It's the Pennsylvania state troopers.
So that phone call won't happen ever.
So if you hear a bump in the night, you're just going to have to protect yourself.
Correct.
Yep. Now, man, that is just so tough. Imagine that, y'all. Just imagine that you now feel like 911 is not an option for you.
It is not.
It's not.
It's not.
So under any circumstances, you're not calling the cops.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wow. This family has been absolutely.
They killed our son for no reason. They would come in and kill us.
Right. Right. And what are the gun laws like where you are? Are you allowed to I know because of Dick Heller versus DC 2008, you can have a firearm in your home. Do they have any kind of restrictions for you guys for firearms in your homes?
Oh no.
And we have a license to carry as well.
Oh yeah, we're equipped.
Good. I just don't want anybody watching this to think that they're going to be able to come into your house and just
no.
Yeah, I already knew the answer.
No.
I'll bite my tongue there.
I wish a brother would.
Yeah.
I got a lot of rage.
I got a little rage pent up. Just kidding. Not. Yep. Just kidding.
No.
I know,
want
Anthony.
to just live a peaceful life.
Which will never happen again because there's not 1 second of peace for us ever again until we die. And then we could see Anthony again.
If you're the praying kind, if you would please just take a moment, throw up some prayers for Anthony Allegrini Jr. and for this family and what they're dealing with and what they're suffering through after Robert Sobek Jr. murdered Anthony Allegrini Jr. in a split second, changed these people's lives forever and ended Anthony's life. And he had a really wonderful girlfriend and they were high school sweethearts. What happened to her?
Yeah. She's doing well. She's doing well.
As well as she can.
Yeah, as well as she can. Up and down, I don't want to speak for her, but we do stay in contact with her. We love her dearly. And, we want her to be able to live a happy, successful
Normal
life. We really want the best for her and we love her and she knows we love her.
but obviously she's traumatized for life like the rest of us. So that's not going to go away.
And she feels similar about police now. She doesn't want to call police. She doesn't want to interact with police.
Well, I can't put words into her mouth, but I mean, you can assume.
Yeah. And she was not, I mean, it's only been a couple years. I really hope she's able to move on and her heart can move on, but it's going to be tough. She can never replace that young man that Anthony was.
I really hope she is able to live a happy life, and Anthony was a part of her life, and I'm sure he always will be, but we want her to be happy.
Yeah, of course. I just, well, listen, I'll let you guys get the last word here. If there's anything you want to say to anybody out there, then go ahead and take your time and say what you want to say.
We just want everyone to know who Anthony truly was, not what would the picture the media painted of him. He was a happy, thoughtful, kind human being, and he was taken out in a way that he shouldn't have been, and that no one should be.
I was going to say pretty much the exact same thing. We had about 1,000 people at his service. So you have to be a special kind of person to be able to get 1,000 people to your service. That just tells you what?
I said, I don't even know what that.
Yeah, I don't even know how that happened, but that's who he was. That was his character. Everybody loved him. And obviously we sound biased because we're the parents, but you could grab any one of those 1,000 people and ask them about Anthony. They will all say the exact same thing. So I know I'm the biased dad and it's the biased mom, but the real story is he was just amazing, lovable, and everybody was drawn to him. And to be able to have 1,000 people at your service just shows you what type of character and everything about his life. It's just unbelievable. So we want the world to know the real story.
I saw the pictures of his service. I saw how many people were there, and the cologne story still sticks in my head. How he would go to the mall, and he would continue to give perfume to the perfume lady. I think it was, wasn't it?
Yes.
He would buy her perfume and give her perfume with his own money.
He bought his own cologne from her, right. But even though there were times he wasn't buying cologne, he would still stop by her station
and say,
just to say hello, make her smile, and just carry on. That's the type of, I mean, all that stuff. The Wawa lady,
the
Chick-fil-A lady said he's the nicest boy that ever came into the store. He held the door for everyone every single time he came in the building and left the building. He'd hold the door for someone. We had random stranger at the service said, I know you don't know me, but Anthony, I didn't know his name either, but I recognized him on the news when this happened. He helped me change my tire however many months ago. We never even knew anything about that, but some stranger came from the streets to just to show his respect for us and for Anthony, even though we never met him, we didn't know him, and Anthony didn't know him. He didn't even know Anthony's name.
And we're so, grateful to hear everyone's story about Anthony, because it just solidifies how we felt about him.
He's a real class act. He's like the perfect son. Any set of parents would wish to have someone as amazing as Anthony.
I got something coming out that bails people out of jail, and I'll be up there in Pennsylvania this summer. So I'd like to come by and say hello to you guys if that's okay.
Love to see you.
Love to have you anytime. Absolutely.
And
our
by
door's
the way,
always open to you.
If you guys, I was talking to Mary earlier, and if you guys don't know, when I was in the dungeon, I looked over my GoFundMe, and guess whose name was on my GoFundMe? These people right here. These people supported me when I was in a dungeon, donated to me so I could pay for my appeal. And I just want to say thank you to you guys for chipping in for me when it seemed like the world had turned against me. So thank you guys for supporting me.
You had our back, we have yours.
And I always will. And I always will. And we don't stop. We don't in the chat, everybody.
Thanks for being a voice for us.
Yes.
We don't stop. I'm going to have my short videos get hundreds of thousands and millions of views. I'm going to ask my editor to cut this interview up and make sure we make a few good short videos to get the name Anthony Allegrini Jr. out there. We're going to promote his foundation, the Anthony Allegrini Jr. Foundation. It's going through the chat. And if there's anything I can do for you guys at all, don't hesitate to reach out. Okay.
Always appreciate you.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, man. You're welcome, man. Thank you, Jen. I appreciate it. Tell Mary I said hello, and I'll see you guys another time, okay?
Will do. All right. Thank you.
Bye, folks. Bye. There it is. There it is right there. We don't stop. We don't stop. Thank you all for coming to, forgive me. This was hard for me from the very beginning as a person, because before they infected me with the bitterness, before the cops infected me with the bitterness, I was the same bright light that kid was. And then they put the bitterness into me by torture cuffing me when I was 18. My hands were turning blue. And those torture cuffs, I got this really disdain for police because of how they torture cuffed me when I was 18 and walking home from a party instead of driving. And they gave me a minor consuming, and they arrested me, and they took me to a cage. And when I was in that cage, they put the torture cuffs on me for so long that my hands just, oh. And so I wish I could go back in time and not have that not happen to me. And I wish I could go back in time and pull that bullet back from Robert Sobeck Jr.'s gun. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Could you even imagine your mom, your dad, your son, your daughter, your sister, your brother? Could you imagine watching them get shot by a cop, and then the media saying that he was trying to run the police over? Could you even imagine it? And these people, listen to the pain and the suffering they're still going through. It's like a fresh wound, and it's been over 2 years. And every day they said it's agony. Could you imagine if Jen sees Anthony and he's pounding nails and fixing the house, and Jen goes, my husband is still reeling. And then she has to go do her thing and figure out for some way to get peace. But they said it every second of every day. They can't watch a hockey game. They can't go watch a football game. They can't go watch a car show. They can't see a car race. They can't do anything without that stark reminder that they had this amazing, wonderful ball of light that lit up the world. And so quickly, Robert Sobeck Jr. from 3 feet away shot Anthony Allegrini Jr. right in the chest. And then as a combat medic, he didn't render any aid. Instead, he pulled his firearm and started pointing it at people passing by who were filming him. I just cannot believe what's happening in this country. And listen, if you're one of these people who are supporting the 50,000 cops that are invading cities around our country, we do not align. I do not support that. I want peace and unity, and I don't want violence. And violence only begets more violence. And I implore you now, please don't go to violence. Do not attack police. Do not shoot police. You use your mouth. You see me. I take them apart with my words, and please join me in that. And filming. And the biggest thing right now across our country, when you see a cop, you film a cop. If you see a cop, when do you pull the camera out? The moment you see the cop. If you pass a cop and you're going like this, what do? First thing, Shirley told me, get my camera out and start filming. You don't even got to pull it up. Just get it ready, get it down here, and get the film going right there, just like that. Now get your camera rolling. You can keep it down here. If Anthony's friends had a camera rolling when there was cops around, we would have a better depiction of what happened to him. And maybe, just maybe, we could get justice for Anthony Allegrini Jr. If you guys are not familiar, I want to show you this young man's Instagram. And there's people still here from Instagram. Thank you from Instagram for coming. I appreciate it. I made a promise to myself. They don't get to see me cry. I already cried in court. I'm not going to cry again. They don't get to see me cry. They don't get to see it. I'm going to pull up his gram. I don't know how well StreamYard is going to allow me to show the gram here, but I'm going to, hopefully the music doesn't take away, and they don't, I'll try to kill the sound, but this is Anthony Allegrini Jr. Here's his Instagram account. Oh God, this stuff. Here it is right here. He's got 731 followers. And if you go down this young man's Instagram, and here's Jen when she first had him. And then here's the picture. Yeah. Yeah. Look at this kid, man. Look at this kid. Look at this young man. Just a beautiful kid, man. Just an absolutely beautiful kid. And the dancing this kid did. Look at this kid dance. What a absolute light. What an absolute, oh my God. Look at the rhythm. Just absolutely horrible. And the way the children responded to him, I just, oh, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Okay. So that the name of it is This is Anthony Allegrini Jr. Please consider following that Instagram account. I got Chevy in the chat. Chevy, we're gonna do another stream. I'm just this is Anthony. I put it in the chat here. Allegrini Jr. This is his Instagram account. Now, if you want to sit there and sob your eyes out, you go to that Instagram account and look at what happens when we allow police to murder our children. And it could happen. Remember, Anthony backed the blue. Anthony Allegrini Jr. backed the blue. When people would say that cops were bastards in his high school, his father told me he would stop them and say, not all of them. And he would have debates with them about that there are good police officers. So if you think that it can't happen to you or your kid, you just met a family. They're not some slum, poor family, uneducated morons who taught their kid to run police over. The opposite. Taught their kid to respect cops. They have cops in their family. Never, ever, ever did they have a negative interaction with police officers. And even still, their son was murdered. Their son was murdered. There's no other way to see it. I can't see it any other way. Can you? All right. We got Travel Jack. We're going to cover him on the next one. I'm actually going to, I need about 15 minutes to, either I got to do some sprints or I got to get these tears out of my eyes because I'm hurting. I don't know how you're doing, but Chevy Nova, is that you in the chat? All right. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you to the parents of Anthony Allegrini Jr. Thank you, Anthony and Jen. Thank you, Mary, for the phone call that we got to have today. And stay tuned. I'll be back on in about 20 minutes. I'm going to go, maybe it's an hour. I got to go lift some weights or something. I'm just fucking pissed right now. I can feel the anger. I'm going to cry. I got to get off here. I'm not going to cry on camera. All right, listen, I got to go. Thanks for coming, you guys. Anthony Allegrini Jr. is the fund. I'm going to take the money here. I'll donate into that fund. Thank you guys for donating to the fund. And I'm just going to throw it in there for him so that I feel like I contributed something. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Later, Gators.